Hello everyone, GH Plays back with another video, and today we will be doing the last episode of Marvel Spider-Man. At least I'm pretty sure this is gonna be my last episode on it. So this might not be my last episode because it's talking about this game compared to every Spider-Man title that I have heard of. I'm pretty sure I don't know all of them. Well, actually, I definitely don't know all of them. The oldest Spider-Man game that I know of is the one that's just from 2000, like the first year of 2000, which was Spider-Man PlayStation 1. The game. So we're gonna start off by comparing it to that game. I wish that I could show those games, but I can't actually edit because I'm recording off a PS4, and unless I have a camera, I can't edit. And I can't use my PC to edit because it's terrible. So you're just gonna have to trust me on this unless you know what the game's like.
Hey guys, you got prescriptions for this stuff?
So we're just firstly going to be comparing it to the first Spider-Man game of the 2000s.
This did keep these wannabe
So
pushers in
Spider-Man
check.
PlayStation 1 was an all-around great game. Though it did do a lot of things wrong. Well, the technology was very limited when it was made, so it's a little bit dated. But still, it was a great game when it came out. It's basically just Venom idea where Spider-Man has to stop the symbiote invasion. That's gonna go on for like three or four games. It was the first to do the idea and did it surprisingly well. So the combat was a lot like Spider-Man 2, and I think it's safe to say that was kind of like the inspiration for it. I know that Spider-Man 2 did make it better, but the combat is insanely like it. I mean, the combat is super similar, but the Spider-Man 2 version's less dated.
Sit with that for a while.
So basically, the combat is basically just Spider-Man 2's, but with no actual aerial combat, and less combos. Most of the combat's pretty repetitive, but still good. It's overall, you can only fire two webs before you fall into an abyss. I'm pretty sure that there was like 1 or 2 levels where you got to play on like the ground, or maybe that was in the sequel, but I don't know. So basically, the whole premise is the whole stopping Venom, symbiote, blah blah blah, whole thing over and over again. It was the first, I've said it before, first to do it, still good. The web swinging, I know I've just said this, but it's basically just your average web swinging from the first Spider-Man game, where you fire, it's just you fire it, then blah 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 blah. You fire them into the sky. but you can only shoot 2 webs before. You can only shoot 2 webs, and if you don't by then, you just fall. And if you don't land in a building by then, you just fall into an abyss. It's really weird, and it's actually it's actually pretty annoying. But it does require some skill, which is a good thing. So I'm glad that it's not just you can. I'm glad that it's not just actual no thought. It's like in Spider-Man 2 where you need to think of where the webs are gonna shoot. But still, it's overall a great game, but I mean, the graphics are straight up hideous. Everyone's face looks like a pancake that a bunch of 3-year-olds have modelled.
Fly away, please.
They couldn't even get Spider-Man's suit right. They missed all of the webs. Like I'll show you it. Like, look at all the black web linings. They couldn't even do that. They did fix it in the sequel, but still, I don't know why they just couldn't do that.
Taking you home, buddy.
I mean, so basically, there is just no comparison between. Look, you just can't. There's no way of comparing them two. It's literally impossible to actually say that the first Spider-Man game of the 2000s is better than this. This is the gaming blessing.
I'll crush that pedestrian if I don't do something.
Oh, I have to hold that.
Don't panic. I'm here.
It's just great. Because you don't actually... Because Spider-Man doesn't really help any of your average civilians or anything in the first game. The whole thing, all that he does is just... He doesn't actually help anyone, though really there could be a war going down at the bottom. And this game just does everything better. I couldn't say to anyone with a straight face that Spider-Man PlayStation 1 is better than Spider-Man PS4. It just won't. I just can't do that without bursting into tears. It just doesn't make sense. That's like saying World War II is a myth. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's so now I'm going to talk about the sequel. And the sequel is called Spider-Man 2: Enter Electro. I'm pretty sure that it was made in the same year.
Forgot to give people your insurance info back there.
I mean, the game increasingly improves on the graphics, and it does in fact make it a lot better. People's faces aren't flat anymore, but they still look weird. The suit was done right. Oh yeah, also one very good thing about the game as well, it's actually in both, but you get different suits. I don't know how you get the different suits, but you can unlock them, so I'm happy. Though really, there is a suit that basically just makes you a god. I'm pretty sure that you need to complete the game different times. You have to complete the game or like the final mission or something multiple times before you unlock the different suits, which is pretty stupid. Its combat is almost the controls on the combat and everything are exactly the same. I still can't say that it's better in any way humanly possible. Without, I just can't. It's not possible. It's just not good enough. Since it didn't, it's known to be a sequel, but doesn't change pretty much anything.
Every two-bit mugger thinks he's the next Wilson Fisk.
I mean, the gameplay's still good, but still, you just can't compare it. So I'm just gonna start talking about the movie tie-in games. Spider-Man, the movie game. I don't like how they're both. I don't like how Spider-Man. I'm just gonna call the movie game of Spider-Man, Spider-Man PS2, and then if I talk about the other one again, I'll just call that Spider-Man PS1, because that's a lot better. So Spider-Man PS1 is basically just the same, but as Spider-Man PS2, but it's not as good.
So not cool.
Because it follows the plot of the movie, and then it's basically nothing to the gameplay and everything of Spider-Man PS1 or Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. But what I must say, the graphics are increasingly improved, which deserves quite a lot of respect.
Guys, if you worked this hard at a legit job, you wouldn't need to be criminals.
So you can fire more than 2 webs before falling into the abyss. Though really, I don't think that there actually is an abyss in the game. Pretty sure that you can go onto solid ground. It's just boring because nothing actually happens. I mean, but still, it was great. It was just an overall improvement.
Sure is off for a webbing clause yet? $1 million idea just waiting to happen.
So basically, the game is almost exactly the same, just improved on like the slightest parts of it. But the main one that I just wanted to talk about before this camera turns off, because I can only record for up to an hour, don't know how long it is, still going to be quite far away from an hour, is Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2. I think that it's safe to say that without Spider-Man 2, this wouldn't exist. I would say that this game is better because it's more advanced technology, and it was just more capable of doing better. But still, like, I need to talk about it. Spider-Man 2, it's fantastic, but a little bit tedious. One part that really, so the whole premise of the story is that it's just Spider-Man's got problems, like Mysterio, which is a little confusing since they shouldn't be in the game, and he has one of the most tedious missions in the whole game, where you got to destroy these little orb things. Where you have to destroy these little orb things that attack the brain. It was so annoying. I spent like half a day trying to do that. It was so annoying. So basically, there's Dr. Octopus. He has one of the most fun. He so far has had the most fun boss battle in the game. though it was very, very short, and it didn't actually finish. I'm pretty sure there's a second boss battle, which is just like an increased version. Because once you hit him to half health, he'll just vanish. So basically, us and Black Cat shows up in it, and and when Black Cat shows up, it's basically just the whole story of Aladdin, a whole new world. Of that one song, A Whole New World, is basically summing up why Black Cat is there. She's there to show Peter a different version of where he didn't have any problems, where he could do whatever he wants. So I could literally have just edited in a gameplay of Black Cat stuff, and then put in that song, A Whole New World, and it would totally fit. It's that weird. But one part that really brought the game down was the lack of customization. I know you get new combos and stuff, but it's not very memorable.
They've built a fort, way better than the ones I used to make out of sofa pillows.
I just had a patrol car call. They tried to step in, but there were too many, and we don't have the manpower for reinforcements.
Lucky for you, you've got Spider-Man power. Not bad, huh? I should have gone into advertising.
Spread the word. Tomorrow we get the police.
So basically, the game had an extreme lack of customization. Most of the upgrades being like swing upgrades and making it easier to go around, like more traversal options, which is, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing. But for the miniature amounts of combat upgrades that you get, they're not memorable, because they have like these really weird requirements and button prompts. There's no like set thing that you need to do, other than a bunch of really confusing things, which really bothers me. I wanted the game. I wanted the game to have different costumes as well, but sadly, just because it was a movie tie-in, it couldn't do that. It couldn't make that happen. Because if it's a movie tie-in, it needs to follow the plot. Which is very sad, so you could only have your basic suit. So the game, besides this lack of customization, its combat is great. Its combat's great, but the story and voice acting is just god awful, especially the voice acting. Me and Tobey Maguire, the guy who voices Spider-Man 2, he's also the face of the movie, looks nothing like himself in the game, though they had rights to his face. I like to call him Timothy. I like to call him Timothy Maguire. Timothy Maguire. He's just a cheap version of Tobey Maguire. He just looks so off. So he's just the off-brand version of Tobey Maguire, Timothy Maguire, and he's just so bad. I mean, all of the puns that he makes are so bad, they can't even be called puns. There's no actual like punchline or anything. It's just words. I mean, he did Spider-Man 2, great movie, great game, but it's difficult. Since these old games had a limited technology, it was a little difficult for them to top something as great as this. So I'm gonna say that Spider-Man PS4 wins all of the ones that I talked about so far. So I'm just gonna go over a couple more games.
Spider-Man, I've spoken to people on the block who say the escapees tried to break into their buildings.
Fits with what I heard. They want to take one over.
They'll be a lot easier to deal with on the street, without hostages.
I'm working on it. Talk to you soon.
I'm actually gonna skip Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man Friend or Foe because those games don't even need comparison. They're god awful. Spider-Man Friend or Foe, it's just a crappy Spider-Man version of a Lego game. And then I don't even need to talk about Spider-Man 3. Everything about it is terrible. The animations on people's faces are downright disturbing. The story is god awful. You need to punch Kraven the Hunter almost 2,000 times to get him to die. There's a bunch of stupid quick time events that really should just be actual gameplay. The swinging is so slow. It's just there's nothing good about Spider-Man 3 or Friend or Foe. Especially their plots. They're just so bad. So I'm just gonna go over to Spider-Man Web of Shadows. This is where games started to pick up after the mistake that was Spider-Man 3 or and Friend or. This was the story. This was the apology for Spider-Man 3. And it overall did a pretty good job. But I need to talk about that Spider-Man voice actor. He's so bad. His voice is so annoying and whiny. It's just disgusting. I mean, whenever he's trying to be serious, he sounds like a really annoying anime character. It's just annoying. And I mean, the game could have done good, but it's bad. But its story is pretty annoying, and I just can't help. Listening to that god awful voice actor. He just doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit Spider-Man or Peter Parker. He's too whiny. He sounds like a toddler. Actually, he sounds like a toddler who got his ice cream stolen. He just sucks. But where this game lies as a good game, it comes to the combat. The combat is fantastic. It's a little too over the top, but it's definitely good combat. Because you can ice on walls, which I wish that this game did normally. The only on wall. Oh wait, hold on, spoilers. Actually, let's just give a massive spoiler warning. I should have done that at the start of the video.
I'll send some buses to take those guys back to their cells. And
The only
don't call me
time.
a lady ever again.
The only time that there was really only one time where you got to fight on a wall, and that was at the end of this game on the phase 2 of the final boss battle, where you need to basically just have a standard fight with Dr. Octopus on the side of the Oscorp Tower, but I honestly preferred that one time than all of the times, than the infinite amount of times that I can do the on-the-wall battles. Because when that happened, when that happened in Spider-Man PS4, it was great. When it happened in when it happens in Spider-Man Web of Shadows, it's not good. It's too it passes the limit of over the top and goes into its own league of stupid. I mean, I'm glad that Spider-Man's strong in the game, because in most of the past games, he was severely weaker than the enemy he was fighting. Especially in the super tedious blocking enemy that you always come across in Spider-Man 2. Because there's always that guy that you need to go into this little slow motion matrix mode to stop him. It's bad. And it's really annoying. So they made Spider-Man too strong. Because seriously, if you punch your car, it flips and explodes. And its blast radius is mad. Nothing good comes out of. Nothing good comes out of over-the-top gameplay, unless you're playing something like Deadpool. If you're not playing Deadpool, there shouldn't be over-the-top gameplay. Only games that specifically have super overpowered characters deserve to have like super overpowered gameplay, and Spider-Man is not overpowered. He may be insanely strong since he's just a teenager who got bitten by a spider, but he's still technically human. That spider bite doesn't make him immortal, and you feel 100% immortal when you play Web of Shadows. The boss battles, the fighting, everything is just so OP. Now this game is very good at balancing, but I'd tell everyone who wants to play this game, play it on the hardest difficulty, because it's the most balanced. It's easy mode would probably make you a small bit weaker than Web of Shadows Spider-Man. And you know, I'm just gonna start talking about the black suit part of Marvel's Spider-Man Web of Shadows. I'm very sad that they didn't put the black suits or just Venom in the game, but it does make a little bit of sense. Too many games rely on Venom to be good. It's only an exception about like 30% of the time.
More crooks? This fight's going viral.
I mean, and the game, I kind of about the plot of Spider-Man Web of Shadows. It's just a rehash. It's just a crappy rehash or just remake of Spider-Man PS1's gameplay, because all it is, it's just an symbiote invasion, nothing more said. I mean, I know that it slightly polishes Spider-Man PS1 story, but it doesn't do it good enough. It needs to be. If it doesn't do good enough, it shouldn't exist. So I PS I don't really. I feel like that one kind of dragged, and I mostly went over the same stuff. But just one more thing before I end the video. I know I said that I review everyone, but I'm gonna have to split this into a few parts. So yeah. Also, when I make the next video, I'll be using Batman Arkham gameplay, and if you're confused on that, it's cause It's cause it's getting a little boring continuously doing the same gameplay for every video. I haven't made like an original, I haven't had like original background gameplay in ages. It's just always the same thing. Which is why I'm gonna make...
Why are you doing this, Felicia? No one's gonna catch you.
Which is why I'm going to make more like... I'm gonna have like more gameplay in the background whenever I'm talking about anything. So this is probably gonna be the last time you see Spider-Man gameplay while I'm as background for commentary. Also, okay, so hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell to be notified about all my future videos, because I like that. So hope you enjoyed, and hold on, goodbye.